everyone. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, the Black Yule, Britta Sadiq, and it is a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Southern California, about 75 degrees or so. And I'd like to say thank you to Marcus Guyton for everything he does behind the scenes. I'd like to say hello to Facebook, the other side of the conversation, the ride or die audience. Also, hello to YouTube. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel for more insightful commentary. And to those on the podcast, thank you so much for joining us today. As I always say, we're going to get better at making the transitions between topics so you don't get that choppy sort of ending, if you will. But anyway, thank you so much. As always, it is the purpose of the Demetra K Show to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things in the Black community to make us an even better people. And Facebook, I'm going to get to every last one of your comments, I promise. And if I skip one, let me know, right? So anyway, today, as usual, before today, I kind of wonder, okay, what are we going to talk about today, right? Because we talk about a whole host of things. And I do have something I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. I was actually going to lead with that, and the topic was going to be where is Black leadership leading us. But then I just something came over me like an hour before we came on here, and I was like,
why are we fighting this battle?
Why are we staying here? Now, what do I mean by why are we staying here? What is here? Well, I'm talking about the United States of America. And who are we? Black people. Black people who have been brought here for, we know the story. Why
work
we're here.
Purposes.
Right, work purposes, for a lack of better words, right? And so, I just why are we here? Why are we staying here to endure the struggle, the suffering? And listen, I'm not saying you're not going to struggle and suffer wherever you go, but we know, for a whole host of reasons, and I'll get into that, why Black people in America suffer, right? Has a lot to do with systemic and institutional racism, white supremacy, the whole nine, right?
No, that's long gone. No, that happened 60 years ago. You guys got a Barack Obama now. How could there be racism? You had a Black president. How? Wake up, Demetra. Come on. You can't be serious. Girlfriend.
Well, we know, I think that was my car key. Well, so we know that's not the only reason why we are, suffering and having difficulties here in America. A lot of that has to do with ourselves. Let's be honest, we as Black people are having a very difficult time for whatever reason. I mean, we could be here forever just trying to list off all of the things, but we're having a difficult time really just as a whole. Now, I'm not saying some of us, but I'm saying as a whole, a majority of us having a hard time just getting on the same page. For lack of better words, just unifying in the things we need to do to better our condition, right? We are just like in last place in everything in America. If you think about it, it's really becoming that way all over the world. Jesus.
So we're taking L's?
We're taking L's for this is not even lack of better words. We're just taking L's, right? We're at the bottom of everything. Everything, we talk about this all the time, economically, health-wise, just you name
business
it.
Ownership, wealth.
Everything.
Should I go on?
I mean, you could. And honestly, I'm really kind of in a depressive state right now. I'm not depressed. But it's just depressing because it's and we talked about this before. I don't want to be negative, but sometimes it's just wonderful. Well, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I know, like I said, I'll be 49 in a couple of months. I know in my lifetime, we're not going to see Black people, especially in America, collectively just get it. Just get it and just say, okay, enough. We are tired of being at the bottom. As Donovan said, we're tired of taking L's. We are tired of being overlooked. We are tired of fighting for equality. We're just tired. Everywhere you go, we have to fight.
Yeah, we have to fight not only the white man, we have to fight the Hispanic man, we have to fight the Asian man. We're fighting everybody.
And we're fighting ourselves.
And the biggest tenement to our problem is ourselves.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a big part of it, a huge part of it. And, just even politically speaking, We're in election season here, and everybody and a mama is fighting over the black vote. You can't turn on, well, for me, it's YouTube. I don't have TV, but you can't turn on TV or YouTube or TV without seeing a candidate talk about the black vote
and
or
how,
being asked about the black vote.
Right, and how they get down with the brothers. You know, let me get my saxophone. Oh, do you know a buck bounce?
You stupid.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Every cycle. That's all they got to do to get our entertain us.
Right, entertain us. And, you know, this is not something that's new for us. We've been at the rodeo before, if you will. We know that politicians, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, we know what they do in order to get the black vote. But we don't, how can I say this? We don't enforce our end, if you will. So you want my vote. Okay, this is what I need you to do for me. And when I say me, I'm talking about black people.
Tangible.
This is what I need to do. Instead, we just fall for the hook, line, and sinker. You know.
Oh, don't worry. They're going to hook us up next.
Yeah,
next
but
time.
but it's like I just like I'm speechless. I'm speechless because it's like.
Are you frustrated?
I'm beyond frustrated. And so, as we talked about before, we went to Africa, specifically South Africa, Johannesburg, and Soweto, and where else did we go? The Seychelles.
We went to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, so, and, you know, we spent some time over there, and it was awesome, amazing, just fabulous, relaxing. And, you know, Donovan and I was talking about that the other day. It was just like, dang, there was just no stress, no, you know, it was just beautiful. And in the most part, being around your people who are like you, who look like you, are like-minded for the most part, you know, it was just an amazing experience. Now, one might say, well, you guys were on vacation. You don't really live there, right? Mm-hmm. You know, because we see on the news how Africa's doing this and this bad is going on. The people here and the, you know, riots and you know, but when we got there, we didn't see that.
Right. I mean, there was a couple murders down there, killings a couple blocks down the way. But
there's a couple killings down the block here.
Right. Exactly. You know? Exactly. And that's what I tell people. But weren't you scared? Scared of what? What are you be scared of?
Right. And so, you know, just going over there and knowing that, you know, it was just a whole different world and vibe. I think about it. Like, why are we staying here? We're always talking about, go ahead.
And, you know, it's not just that it's a whole different vibe. It's different when you go to some place and you have the economic impact or the money to live the way you want to live. Because compared to the local economy, I felt like a white person.
You stupid.
You know, I just felt like the world was mine.
Right.
I can buy what I want.
Right.
People kissing my butt. Oh, officer. Hello, officer. What was a good name out there? Ogable. You know, whatever his name is. Ogable, whatever's a good African name. You know.
Manolo.
Yeah, Manolo. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, hello, Officer Manolo.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about being arrested. You know, because he knows that I'm in the penthouse over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just felt so good.
And, you know, as Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, tried to do so almost 100 years ago to this day, really, if you think about it, he tried to get us to go back to Africa and say, hey, let's blow this joint. Let's be out of here. There's nothing in America for us. This was almost 100 years ago. He was trying to get us to leave here.
What do we got to lose?
You got a minute? I mean, because you think about it, that was 100 years ago, and here we are, and really nothing has gotten better for black people. Well, everything is getting worse for black people.
Exactly, and we're letting it get worse because we keep buying into this. Oh, well, you know, this good old white man, you know, he's going to let us in there. You know, look, we could go into shops and stuff, and he's robbing us.
I mean, we are still begging to go to be able to go to school, you know, without being discriminated against. We're still begging, to work to show up to a job with the hairstyle that is befitting to us. We are still, I mean, hell, you name it, sports, entertainment. You got Negroes with millions of dollars who are crying about not being recognized by the Oscars, and so it's like, why do we want to continue staying here begging the very people who brought us here, not for equality or justice or any of that? They brought us over here as a cargo, as a product. We're brought over here. Now, and I know there's going to be some people say, well, not all black people came from Africa. There's some black people.
You're right.
Ain't talking about them.
Those Negroes have come over here to take advantage of the sacrifices that we made, the small steps that we made to get the advantages of, and nothing more power to them.
I'm even talking about before we came over here, slaves. You
right.
know, some people say there's black people who are already here.
Right.
You know, and so I ain't talking about them.
We ain't talking about
that. But at the end of the day, who can tell the difference now? You know,
black is black.
Right? Who can tell the difference? And so, you know, we are still fighting for just the basic necessities, if you will. You know, we're still doing that in 2020, and then, like I said, I just have the mindset that we're going to continue to do that.
We're going to continue to struggle.
Yeah, continue to struggle and beg the oppressor to see us as equal.
Well, what's really sad, I was watching a show on YouTube. I do a lot of my stuff on YouTube, even though I got TV, unlike her. I do, but I do a lot of surfing on YouTube because it's like, to me, it's like an encyclopedia for me, and I love getting knowledge.
Right.
And, you know, when our black men are being taught to stand down and not stand up, that's part of one of the biggest problems that we have, where we are, like what happened to Snoop. They backed him down, you know. Oh, nigga, you don't say nothing about no woman. You know what I mean? And it's like, these leaders that could be leaders in the community won't stand.
And that leads me to my next point. So then I talked about this lack of black unity, but we also have a lack of, how can I say this? The word escapes my mind right now, but black men and black women don't get along. For the most,
right.
I don't want to say for the most part, but especially with the inception of social media, it's really being played out in public that we just don't get along. And to piggyback off of Donovan's point, you had someone like Snoop Dogg who was not as eloquent in his delivery, in his rebuke of Gayle King.
Fail King.
You know, however you want to say it. He could have used some better words. He didn't do that. But from that point, everybody, you know, and I'm going to transition to that, black leadership, if you will, and I say that in quotes very loosely, came out against Snoop. You had your Al Sharptons. You had your Oprah Winfrey. She get on there crying. You have, you know...
and who did she cry to? A white audience.
Yeah, it's just Susan Rice, who, you know, we talked about this last week. And so, to Donovan's point, you know, Snoop was trying to stand up for black men, if you will. And then you saw a lot of black men coming out and say, you know, really just...
We're tired of being attacked.
Well, because he was defending Kobe.
Right, but as a whole, black men, I'm tired of being attacked as a black man, period. I'm tired of it.
Right, and then so to the point that I was trying to make as far as, you know, black men and black women not, you know, getting on code and being on the same page, instead of us, and a lot of us did, so I don't want to say we didn't largely, but a lot of us, instead of getting on the same page with Snoop and saying, he shouldn't have called her B word or whatever.
The content of what he was
saying. Yes, but he was right. You saw a lot of, you know, black women saying he was misogynistic and, you know, how dare him.
Let's see, a gangster rapper.
Well, and attacked him. But it's like, but what was he saying right? I mean, there's Gayle King and her homegirl Oprah have a history of attacking black men. And, you know, y'all saw, I thought it was a joke when I first saw it. Rick James is now going to be sued.
Right, his estate, right. He's been dead for what, 12 years now?
14, since what, like 2004 or something like that? Or since 16 years?
Yeah, it's about 16. So now, a black man can't even rest in peace. You're just going to go after him.
And you know the first thing I thought? I wonder if Gayle and Oprah are like, you know, on the typewriter, oh gosh, we got... This is going to be we're going to milk this for 2 weeks, you know.
Right.
And so, it's just, I'm just going to keep it real with you guys because that's the best I can do. I'm not really feeling hopeful. And I say this a lot. Before I was saying this jokingly, like I don't want to be here anymore. And again, I'm not saying I want to die. Like, you know.
I should have never taken you to Africa.
She took me to San Bernardino.
Yeah, exactly. Taking you to Africa and you saw the riches and what could be.
It wasn't even...
It confirmed
but it was
what you heard.
It was just more like, gosh, you know, we're going to jump back on a plane and go endure what we've been enduring.
Right. Right.
You know, it's like, is that insane?
It is.
Is it insane?
Is. Wait. And we were living good we're still living good here.
Just peaceful.
Peaceful.
Now, no, you know, again, because I don't want to make it seem like, you know... Because, like, we were on vacation,
we were really on a fact-finding mission.
Yeah,
because a vacation is sitting at the beach and going on the boat.
We did that like, a little bit, but for the most part, we really were on a fact-finding mission and just going to see what we could learn. But,
the beer thing was great.
It just, I can't describe it. And, like I said, I'm not feeling very hopeful. I'm going to get to you guys' comments. I'm not feeling very hopeful because I just need to be honest. I don't think we really want to unify.
No.
I don't think that's something we're really interested in. I mean, like I said, I went to the parade last Saturday, and people made a lot of excuses as to not to buy a hot dog from a black woman
at a Black History parade.
I could just fall out under this table right now. Just really even thinking about it. It's like a lot of people made excuses as to not to do it. It's like, but we complain about not having our own stuff and not being able to do this, that, and the other, but we won't do anything about it. Like, because I'm going to wholeheartedly go out and say white supremacy is at the helm of all of this, okay? White supremacy is at the helm of all of this, but a lot of this is on us, too.
We have to take the reins.
A lot of this is on us,
of our destiny.
I mean, we have to, but I'm at the other end of it. I'm not going to give up right now because I'm here. I'm still here in the United States, but I'm at the point now I don't have to be here.
Well,
there's like nothing for me
nothing
to be here. Right, there's
nothing
nothing holding me here.
Well, I just got this, before we get to the comments, I just got this saying that hit me that a good friend of mine, my Fruit Loop, had said. What did she say?
What did she say?
You brought me in this world to...
Oh, you're talking about my daughter when she says, how dare you want me to do something with my life? I didn't ask to be here. You brought me here to struggle.
Right.
You had me, and now I'm forced to struggle.
This life-bearing... but think about what she's saying. That does make sense.
Right. You forced me to struggle.
Yeah, we put her in a situation where she has to struggle in this environment.
Right.
If she was in the other environment...
Which she did go to, and she had a great time as well. She's like, why are we here? Why are we staying here? So anyway, I'll talk long enough. I'm over it. I am. I'm over it. But I'll get to you guys.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say this. There are days Dee comes in here, and she is just done. And I'm just like, I hope she isn't ready to quit. I hope she ain't going to cry in the car. And it's really sad when you see a leader like that. I'm not saying discouraged, but you're just like
I am discouraged. I am.
You're beat down.
I am. I am. As old people say, I'm just tired.
Tired of being tired.
Then you know what they used to say to you? Just keep living. If you think you're tired now, just keep living. So anyway, I'm going to get to you guys' comments. I mean, I have something else to say. And if you guys have anything else you want to talk about today, please mention it. We're going to kind of just open it up a little bit. And I'm going to talk about this wacky election season that we got going on here. I want to talk about some of this black leadership that's joining in, if you will, with Mike Bloomberg.
Yep. We got to beat Trump. 4 more years to Trump. We got to beat him. Yes, Miss Nancy. That's James Clyburn, by the way.
Hey, Ricky, how are you? And Billy, what's happening?
Hello.
Long time no see.
Yes.
And Sydney says, really, it's kind of cold here. Yeah, it's hot. Look, I'm sweating and stuff.
Yeah.
I have my sunroof open, so this side of my face is
darker than the other side.
Yeah, it's actually burning.
Sunburn.
Actually, yeah. And what's happening, Tay? She says, good afternoon, D&D. And then you say, good afternoon to my people in the chat. Yeah. And then Marcus is putting up the link. So if you haven't, if you're in the watch parties, come on the side to comment so I can see your comment because I want to respond to your comment. Tay.
And let me say something today. My hometown, Baton Rouge, it had a Mardi Gras parade. And we know that's a traditional thing that goes on. And as I was watching the Mardi Gras parade from my cousin's phone, right? I'm looking at the Negroes just dancing and doing this, and we are 12 years from zero. And they're acting, I understand the tradition of it, but I'm just like, I don't think right now is the time to start dancing.
Well, it's funny you say that because Neely Fuller Jr. actually made that good point, and he is a genius who defined white supremacy and all of that.
Geniuses, we think alike.
Actually, the mentor to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. But he said what are black people celebrating?
Yeah, what are we?
He said we constantly are celebrating and partying and stuff. But he said and I'm paraphrasing, We ain't moved the ball. We ain't did nothing to celebrate over. We just partying and having a good time. We are complacent in everything that pertains to us. But then, like, I always say this, like, we as black people, and I don't want to be negative, but that's just kind of how I feel today. You know,
Make it plain.
We as black people, we're reactive.
Yeah.
We're reactive. We are not proactive in saying, okay, this is what we need to do to stay ahead of the game. This is what we need to do to make sure that we're not gentrified out of our own communities. This is what we need to do to make sure people don't come open up stores in our neighborhood where we're completely shut out. This is what we need to do to make sure that we have black businesses and we hire black people. And this is what we in there.
We don't do that. We put pastors in there as business leaders, and they're not business. They're a pastor. You have nothing to do with business.
Well, then on the reactive side, we have, oh my God, our neighborhoods are being gentrified. Right. We can no longer stay here. The rents are tripling. Like in California, there's no rent control. So anytime someone gets ready to, they can raise the rent on you. And if because minimum wage is, they're trying to get it $15, but no, $15 nowhere. Even if it was $15, is not going to help you.
Not going to help you here in California.
Black unemployment is low, it's lower than it has been, but it's still high. There's still a lot of black people who don't.
Having a part-time job is not a job with benefits. So you can have 3 part-time jobs in California. That's not going to help you.
Right. You're still going to be behind the 8 ball, if you will. And so, we're just constantly reactive. We react to everything that happens to us. But this is the thing. Like, when you're reactive, because there's some situations you just need to be reactive in, right? But when you're reactive, a lot of times you're able to bounce back or you can get a solution. But we're reactive and we don't have a solution. Right. Our solution is, well, what are they going to do for us?
We're always waiting for somebody to save us.
Yeah, well, somebody to save us. And when we have all the resources and the ability mentally and physically to save ourselves, but we have been just so, like somebody put up today, and I'm going to get to you guys a comment, somebody put up a picture today, and they're trying to pass it off as a slave back in slavery, but I think it's from another country. But it's a black man wearing like a loincloth, and it's a real photograph of him, and he's got his foot in this contraption, and the caption says that he was a runaway slave, and so he's getting ready to have his foot cut off, right? And so the guy formed a narrative and saying, well, if that was me, I would remove the pin and free myself, and then I'm paraphrasing, but beat my captors with the thing. And I said, well, that physical slavery is not really our issue anymore. It's a mental slavery. I said, there's people today that would have their foot caught in that contraption and they wouldn't do anything to save themselves because mentally they're enslaved. Mentally they're thinking, oh gosh, if I free myself, I might get in trouble. Massa might be mad. Oh, let me ask permission if I should come out of here, instead of saying, well, you know what? F that, I'd rather die before I lay here and let them cut my foot off.
Or here's a good example of mental slavery currently. Hey, we got to vote for Joe Biden. That's the Obama days. Do you realize Obama, 4 years of the Obama presidency, was trying to dig out of the worst recession that ever happened, and black people are at the bottom. And then the next 4 years, the jobs are coming back. He didn't do anything for blacks. So as a black person, why would I want to go back to where nothing was done for me? But people think that was a good time.
Right.
If I was a white millionaire, it was great. Gangbusters. But as a black person, that was one of the less progressive times as a black person.
But to your point, though, we want to be left out of the conversation politically. I know there's some people going to say that's not true, but it is true. Why is Bloomberg, of all people, 22% of black voters are thinking about voting for why?
Because it takes a billionaire to beat a billionaire. Number one, Donald Trump is not a billionaire. He's not a billionaire because you never saw his damn taxes. The man is a con artist.
And guess what? You never will.
Right, you never will. Number two, we know Mike Bloomberg is because he owns multimedia things. Advance worth $66 billion?
About 50.
Yeah, $56 billion. So that's a known fact. You can't say that about Donald Trump. So, but that's the thinking we think. A billion.
And Mike Bloomberg just wants the job probably just something to mark off on his I did it list.
Well, yeah, that and to keep Bernie from getting the nomination and all that other stuff.
Right.
So,
it's okay.
And think about this. Why would you want to vet Hillary Clinton as your vice president to galvanize the other side? They don't want to win. They don't want to win.
I have my theories about that. Hold that thought.
Yes.
And Tay said some of us refuse to want to do better. Yeah, we just don't. Period. We don't. Hey, Frank, he says, real talk. And Tay says Snoop wasn't wrong. His delivery was just a tad off. Yeah, just a tad.
Well, when you're upset,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you're upset.
Hey, when I get upset, it's like, woo. Mm-hmm. And Cindy says, it's nothing new. This is what they wanted. Us at each other's throats. They don't have their jobs. Mm-hmm. And then Cindy says, I think Gail was dead wrong. Mm-hmm. I think Snoop was wrong for cursing her out. I think the death threats that it was true was wrong. But they get so, I think, I don't know what you're trying to say.
But they got back.
Oh, okay. Got it. Hey, Jerry. He says, amen, Donovan. Pastors are not business leaders.
No, absolutely not. But for some reason, we think they are. Well, what the pastor said, take the funds from this, and we're going to put it in the big building fund, and we got to get him his classic car, and we got to make sure his kids go to the private school.
But again, whose fault is that? All right,
Our fault.
Are we really, really, really mad at the pastor because he has his hustle down tight?
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not, like they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. But I'm going to take it a step further. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the game. Hate the players in the game. Not the players at the top, but the people who keep playing the game and losing. Right. Like, how many times are you going to keep... I'm not asking gamblers. I'm asking people who don't gamble. How many times are you going to go to the casino and keep losing your money before you say, you know what?
You got to realize you're a worker.
Yeah, this casino ain't here because it's losing.
Right. Right.
At some point in time, we, as the people that keep participating in the game, have to just fold up our chips or your cards or whatever it is, because I don't gamble, and walk away.
And then most of us that have gone to college, if you take a statistic class, which most of us have, then one of the first things they teach you in statistics is the example of a casino. A casino is guaranteed to make 30 cents off of every dollar. You would have to be a really incompetent businessman, Donald Trump, to go bankrupt in a casino. It's almost impossible.
Right. So, like I said, I'm not mad at pastors. I mean, they making their money. It's us that I don't go, but, it's the people who keep going to church, tithing and paying offerings, and, by the way, you stepped off of a bus or an Uber to go to church. You don't have a car, but you see the pastor getting out of the pulpit, jumping in his car, and he ain't going to give your ass a ride home as you wait for the bus stop in your Sunday best. So, I mean, that's our fault at some point in time where we just have to say, you know what, this money is probably better off somewhere else, And then City says that's by design, though, to be reactive, of course. We have, but I want to beg to differ with that point as far as by design, because, you think about somewhere, a time like with Black Wall Street, they had no choice really but to be proactive. What are we going to do? Sit here and die?
Because the white man ain't going to share their
there was no socialism. It was like we have to do for ourselves. Now, we know what happened with that. But the point that I'm making is we weren't always reactive. We're just reactive now to, just like, eventually, as Dr. Claude Anderson says, we're going to be extinct. And I don't even think we can. Like, we're
from zero.
Like, I'm one of those people that it's hard for me to be comfortable. Just in general. I'm not saying like when I go to sleep at night, I'm not comfortable. Sometimes I do toss and turn. But I'm not one of those people who could just be comfortable when I see the aftermath around me or the mayhem. Because that's what we are in the middle of as Black people, is mayhem and destruction. And it's hard for me to be comfortable. You know what I mean? So, but that's where we are.
Well, it's funny, I commute from San Bernardino from the school over there. And, of course, it's tax time. I was at the mall the other day, and I just see these young Black moms in there shopping. And, of course, you overhear their conversations. Girl, I got $4,500. Whatever their amount of money is, it doesn't matter. But you're just giving it away.
Right. And that's another kind. Maybe I'll feel better next week. But, we had this conversation last, and not that everybody listens to us, because they don't. Everybody don't listen to us, so, But like you said, it's tax time, and instead of, really doing something great with that money, like starting a business or, investing, buying real estate. That's a great thing, Buy some real estate in the hood or, Black communities.
And you don't have to do it here. You could go to the South and buy real estate down there. That's way dirt cheaper. We and be the landlord from over here.
We're going to go to the malls.
Yeah. We got to get the $300 shoes, and we've got to get the
lace
front,
Gucci purse,
and a new phone. I got an 8-year-old that needs a $800 phone. You know, it's very sad. It's very sad.
I need a drink. And Sydney says, take the mind, keep the body. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the possibilities are endless when you have somebody mentally. You have somebody mentally, there is nothing you cannot make them do. And there's, like, you can keep them in a state of nothingness. Nothingness, rather. You just keep them there. You know, I don't ever want to do anything for myself. It's just, God, help us. And Tay says, look at my Trevor Noah post. Mm-hmm. One black woman was making excuses for Bloomberg.
That was a great post, by the way.
I didn't see that. I have to check that out.
Post. Great post.
I mean, why are we making excuses for Mike Bloomberg? Why? I mean, Jerry, say what black organizations are doing the real work to upset the status quo?
None.
I mean,
I'm sure there's some out there, but I can't really name it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to even look at something like the NAACP.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You think about something like the NAACP.
The way they did me.
Organizations like the NAACP, like, I don't even know what they're doing anymore. You know, Donovan and I hung around the NAACP around here for a while. Enough, I would say. We
tried to bring some new blood in there, infuse the thing. My saying of what I've been watching of the NAACP, especially the Riverside chapter here, is it's funny how Generation Fail seems to go on the annual meetings in Detroit and wherever they're going. But then you see, well, what have you done here? Nothing's being done here.
So yeah, you have organizations like that, but to, you know, your point, Jerry, is like, what are they doing to upset the status quo? They are the status quo.
Right.
You know, they are the status quo. As long as we got our big piece of the chicken.
Right. Mark Chicano comes down, the congressman, and
yeah. And did I talk about that last week? How our congressman, I don't know if he watches or not. But
he does. I love the way people say we don't watch your show, but they could tell you everything we say, or a quote that happened in the episode.
So we have a congressman out here. He's up for re-election, if you will. And he comes up to me. I was at the Black History Parade, and he comes up to me and he says, "How you doing?" It was kind of awkward at first, and I was like, "Yeah." So he says, "Hello," and I said, "Hello." We look at each other for a minute, and I said, "It's a nice day, isn't it?" He says, "Yes."
Yes, it is.
"There's no need for negative talk today."
I wonder what he was elaborating from.
He says, "Have a nice day." And I was just like, what?
It just came to you particularly.
Yeah. He knew who I was.
Yes,
he knew who I was.
Of course.
And so the point is, you know, I'm assuming he watches some of the stuff that we do.
Or his staff.
You know, we are supporters of Dr. Grace, so who's running against him. So.
I'm a supporter of anybody that goes against this man.
Right.
Okay.
But, yeah, Tay, I don't know why people are making excuses for Mike Bloomberg. You know, we get caught up, as black people, we get caught up with symbolism.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Bloomberg, he's gonna create. This is his 10-year plan. In 10 years, he's gonna create a million new black homeowners. And he's gonna create, I forget the number, but a bunch of black businesses.
How? We don't have any wealth. How?
But I'm saying
because the white man ain't gonna give us nothing for free.
But I mean, why does he need to be president to do that? He's got all this money. Why you need to be president to do that? I mean, I'm curious.
Well, maybe his idea is this. And if you guys watched our show or watched some of our clips from South Africa, maybe he's just going to do another Soweto and give us cardboard houses.
Yeah, with some tin roofs and all that. Yeah.
As long as we got a satellite dish, everything's going to be great.
And guess what the channel is going to get?
The new black network.
The Bloomberg network.
The Bloomberg network, right. Keep his numbers up.
And Sydney says Bernie ain't going to win either.
Well, no, because now, like I've been telling you guys, if you've been listening to my show, the Democrats and the Republicans work together. They don't want this man. The man has been consistent. They don't want this man upsetting the apple cart. That's why they're pissed at Trump too. Don't think that the Republicans aren't pissed at Trump because he's exposing a lot of what's going on. We have law. Wow, it's funny. The law doesn't apply to the president.
Right.
I don't have to show up for that. I don't have to. I mean, he's exposing this stuff.
Right.
But we've been taught, you follow the law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Right.
He's exposing a lot. So don't think that he's got Republicans, long as he can pass that tax cut for the super wealthy, he's on the team. But when he's doing that other bullshit,
Right.
So toward Bernie, they work together. It's the ruling class. I'm going to keep telling you guys that until you guys understand. It's about the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. I mean, because how is it that Mike Bloomberg, who showed up late to the race,
the party, they changed the rules when they said they weren't,
or showed up on any debate stages. Right. His campaign, but not showed up on any debate stages. But yet now he's, especially with black people, he's trending upward. How?
Right. And then the Democratic Party said, these are the rules. There's no changing it. This is it. This is fair.
Right.
They changed the rules.
Pamela was happy. Said, I'm here to listen. Yay.
Hey, how are you doing?
And Jerry says, mayhem, destruction, and attack on our babies. Yeah, I mean, good Lord. I mean, it's just like, you know, and Jerry, he's the black student advocate.
Yes, out here, which we need more of. Thank you, Jerry.
And so he works within the school systems, and he sees the destruction that goes on within the school system with black children.
The systematic way they put them in special ed and all the things, or make them troubled kids and go on that path.
Yeah, I mean, but again, in 2020, you know, we all pay taxes. I mean, we all get these, you know, it's election time, these new bond measures all that they want us to vote on. So where's that money coming from? Yeah, that's coming from us.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, my property tax went up $300 and something off of Measure M that was supposed to improve the schools. The very first college class I took was in a mobile unit at the high school down the street over here, Moreno Valley High School. That mobile unit, according to Measure M, was supposed to be gone. It's still there.
It's still there. It's still there.
So where's my money going? I don't even have kids in the school system.
Right. So. And then Sydney wants to know which post are you speaking of? And then Jerry says, what did the NAACP do to you, Donovan?
It's a long story. G was there, though. They put me on a bus with no bathroom. Funky people.
Well, you couldn't use the bathroom or something
it was broke.
Yeah.
It was broke. Funky people. Then I get up there. Willie Brown shows up. All these old female players get up. Throw their panties because Willie's in the lobby.
Lying now.
No, you remember they all jumped out?
Damn panties.
Well, they might as well have. They go in the lobby. I'm sitting there talking to some dude, and they gonna point me out. And D looks at me, and I'm about to go off.
I was like, you bet not.
Oh, man. I mean, they did me dirty.
We got off the bus.
Man. Tell it. I couldn't get a break. Jerry.
We got off the bus. Stepped off the bus. It was
no bathroom.
It was from here, you know,
to
Sacramento, which is a pretty long ride on the bus, right? So Donovan's making a beeline to the bathroom, and some lady goes, "And where are you going?" "Excuse me, where do you think you're going?"
It's all funny to D because it happened to me. So I look at the bitch and I go, what did I say? I go off. I'm going to the fucking bathroom. Do you mind? Because I think she thought I was a kid, or I don't know what it was. But I let him have it. It was a long day, to say the least. It was a long day. So during that whole meeting, it just cascaded down. They just did me dirty.
And then we talk about time, but then when we get there, they want us to go lobby to the assembly people. One of the new laws that they wanted to have passed was that when I, as a black person, go into a white store, it's illegal for them to discriminate against me. That they should just take my money and not follow me around the store. And we're like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
They're rehearsing these kids to go to the assembly members and, you know, just here, present this. It's like a joke. It's like a total joke. Like, oh, look at the kids. Oh, look at the photo op.
And ask Donovan if he stuck around.
Oh, hell no. I went to go see Jose Medina.
This dude just took off. He just parted away from the rest of the sheeple. I'm with the kids and stuff, so I can't really leave.
I was on like the third floor already.
Donovan was like, I'm out of here.
Please. Let him have it. I said, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. You know, got the chief of staff's number, which I still have to this very day, so, you know.
And then he talked about, I'm flying back. I said, we flying back.
and that was another thing. They put us on a bus while the president and
all the presidents and everybody,
all the inner circle, they flew up. I was done.
So anyway, that's what
happened. And the NAACP person in charge of the bus fronts the bus driver before we even start the journey. I'm like, we're gonna die. You do not tell the bus driver how to do his job. I was like, oh my God. Jerry, it was a nightmare, man. I mean.
Ricky, how you doing, friend? He says, I have invested into oil and company I work for, so my money can go for work for me instead of working for me working for it. Don't be scared to invest. Just do your research before you do it because it's like gambling in and of itself. Absolutely. We're both investors,
yeah,
you know.
Ricky, another good thing, and that's a good investment.
Hey, Jonelle.
That you have. Think about something that everybody's going to need, and it's going to be hard to get in the next 10 years. Clean water.
I was about to say that.
Water.
Yeah.
Water. Invest in that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Water.
Yep. I just had to take a deep breath there because it was just like, wow, I needed that laugh. Thank you, Jerry. I needed that. How you doing, Jonelle? And Tay says, I can't just support anyone. What is Aja doing for black people? Is she even having the difficult conversations like Dr. Grace is? Is Aja engaging with the black community, or is she keeping strictly white and Republican? So Aja is another person who's running for Congress out here as well.
Right. Good friend of mine. She is a Republican, and that pretty much is all I can say about that.
That's all he wants to say about that.
That's all I can really say.
And Ricky said Trump will get another 4 years, and he knows it.
Yeah,
I think that's. I think really people need to kind of just embrace it a little bit. I know the election's not until November, but I mean it's a real possibility that Trump is going to be in office another 4 years.
Well, I want you guys to think about this. The founding thieves set up a system. The founding thieves.
Okay.
Set up a system to where you can get. True democracy is one man, one vote, correct? Correct. They set up a system that says we can't let the common idiot pick our leaders. So
common idiot.
Yeah. So Hillary Clinton won by 60 million votes of the popular vote, right? 6 million, right?
She should have won if you were going by
real democracy.
Right.
They said, oh, no, we're going to set up another system where we're going to select who's going to win. Come on. I mean, what?
Right. Why bother?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying why bother, but I'm just saying, what kind of democracy are we? We're not in a democracy. We're in an autocracy. It's
correct.
It's very
honestly.
Yeah,
truthfully.
It's very telling,
yes.
and they're showing it to you. But we keep thinking, and that's me, you guys, keep thinking democracy. Oh, we're in a democracy. No, we're not. If we can't pick the leaders, we're not in a democracy.
Right.
So that's where we're at.
And Jonelle says, if you're white, just blow a sax or carry.
Yeah!
Hot sauce or quote some rap and you got so-called Negroes vote. And all, I mean...
Do you know how to buck bounce? Roly-poly Martin. It's ridiculous. And then he got mad as hell when Hillary lost because that means he wasn't going to get a job in the White House.
He's still mad, too.
Man.
Roland's still mad. And Tay says, I do not have an issue with Aja being a Republican, but what is she doing for her community? I like the girl personally, but politically, she isn't here for black people. I saw a podcast, and Donovan won't say anything. Here, cover your ears.
Okay.
I'll say something. I saw a podcast where she said racism is not what it used to be. It's not racism is not as bad as it was. You heard the same one.
I did, but when somebody says something like that, it's easy to say that when you're not the one being racially profiled or, hit.
Right.
So.
And not to note shade to her. I mean, she doesn't like me for whatever, probably a whole host of reasons, but it's whatever. She kind of has the ability to pass, if you will. Mm-hmm. And I say this not to engage in colorism, but a lot of people who are on a lighter melanated side of the spectrum, if you will, I've actually heard a few people who are very light in their skin say I've never experienced racism.
Right, or if they're not light.
So maybe that's her situation.
Right. Or if they're not light in their skin, if they married the other, their whole political view has changed. You know? And I have a friend that went to a HBCU, married a white man. She's totally on this side of it.
She hates your black ass guts.
So.
Hey, John Slee. I hope I'm saying that right. Says, are people not with Bernie just because of reparations?
Bernie doesn't believe in reparations.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in reparations.
For black people. He believes in reparations, but not for black people.
Yeah, I think that's, I think it has a lot to do with black people. Also, regardless of how he wants to spin it, he did vote for the crime bill. Yeah. He was saying because it had some other provisions for women and stuff like that, which is why he did it, but you still voted to harm black people. The black community will never be the same obviously a whole lot of other stuff, but due to that crime bill, the black community was ripped apart. So, he Whether you like it or not, he had something to do with that.
Do you think black people suffer from battered women syndrome? You know, because it's like Joe Biden did the crime bill. All these black people are behind him. Bloomberg, stop and frisk. All these black people are behind him. It's like the people that are oppressing us, or the people that do these things, we're like, oh, we got to just be with them. Just vote for him.
Right. So that could be, yeah, I think so. And that's so. I hope I explained that, Sydney. And then, hey, Russell, what's happening? And Marcus says the biggest problem. Let's see. You say the biggest problem is you have with African Americans leaving America is that there is no belief that we can collectively accomplish something outside of America. We fool ourselves with the notion that we built America, that we were here first, did our ancestors die for, but yet we can't unite and defend ourselves or come together to even demand equality or civil war. I say leave behind and grab something. I think go for something greater. I think you're trying to say, and let the ignorant come along later and pay for what was built if they want to be a part of it then, because Africa is wide open for any and everything that wants to be done by a group of united people. No, absolutely, I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Is that 45 minutes already? Mm-hmm. Wow. So yeah, I agree. Like I said, I really want to leave, just blow this joint, honestly. But we did build America. You know, a lot of America was built off of our ancestors' blood, sweat, tears, trauma, drama, you name it. So yes, I think we have a right to claim that, but we're not fighting for that now. Collectively, we're not. We're just kind of going along, to get along, if you will. But yeah, Jerry's laughing. Hey, Arrow, what's happening? And Jerry says, watch out now. And Joe Nelly says, yes. Let me see more. Oops. You say, yes, the founding thieves and Trump nestled with Zionists. He wasn't even in politics. Trump was into money, revenue, and when the Zionists set up the presidential apprentice with zero apprentice experience needed, the bank was open to him, and the bank is not going to out its greatest investment since Hitler. Yeah, I mean, it's all, as I say, it's a money hustle. It is the moneycrats. There's no, Democrats or Republicans. They're all in it for money. I mean, under the Trump administration, everybody in the 1%, if you will, and people close to it, I guess, they're getting richer. It's us that's on the ground level here. That's not in the 1%. That's left really to struggle, and it shouldn't be that way, but it is that way. Hey, Marilyn, he says, I'm light, but I have had problems with blacks and definitely the whites. Yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't trying to say that light-skinned people don't have problems, but I know for people who are able to pass, if you will, a lot of times, those are conversations that I've had, they have said, I haven't really experienced racism. And I tell them, well, you're fortunate that you haven't experienced racism. Since I was a child, even recently, I've experienced racism. I'll give you guys a perfect example. I went into Walmart yesterday. My daughter wanted to buy some spray for her hair or something, and all the black products were locked up. And so I went to the manager, and I said, you know what, I get it. People steal. I said, I don't even want to get into that conversation or whatever. I said, but it's very humiliating to have to wait for somebody to come unlock the products while everyone else who is not black or seeking black products can just freely grab their stuff off the shelf. And of course, she gave me the song and dance. I didn't make this decision. This, that, and the other comes from corporate, but that's a form of racism, whether we like it or not. So we didn't buy. Wait to buy the spray. We left. We went somewhere else. So I'm not saying because I was a dark-skinned person that happened to me, but the point that I'm making is I know a lot of people who can pass and say I don't really know what racism is, haven't really experienced it. And then Sydney says, well, up here before Bloomberg announced he was running, Bernie wasn't at the top. He wasn't so up here in New Jersey, is that what you're saying? And Jonelle says, if a Jew becomes president, it will be perfect fit, and to clear to masses the Walking Dead that this is truly a Zionist-owned America. Yeah, I mean, I guess by now everybody knows that Bernie is Jewish. People say that Bernie is for the people. I mean, And some will argue, well, he has a track record that showed that he is. But as a black person, I want to know, is he for me? Is he for, like, what is going to be given to black people? Because I don't care who you are as far as Democrats, you need black votes. You need black votes to get to where you need to go. And so if I'm going to give you my black vote, what are you going to do for me? Period. And Sydney says, yes, Bloomberg put on paper, stop and frisk, but off the books, stop. Question, not like your body language or a comment frisk, then plant drugs on you or a gun. So are you saying that's what they did? If I'm reading your comment right, is that what they did? Well, we know they did that because I've read a lot of stuff, especially come out of New York, where a lot of precincts were found guilty of, well, not necessarily found guilty, but discovered that they were doing that to people, planting drugs and guns on them. And the same thing happened out here in Los Angeles at the Rampart Division, the 77th precinct. They had to let thousands of people, they had to look at thousands of records of people who were falsely accused and all kind of stuff. It's a nightmare. So yes, Bloomberg is the author of Stop and Frisk. You guys probably heard the audio where he also talked about where, and I'm paraphrasing, when you stop these people being black people, throw them up against the wall, stop and frisk, I guess, and that was, he wasn't, I mean, just like it rolled off of his tongue like second nature, like, hey, just something you do, crazy. And D-Clan, I hope I said it, he says, oh, my eyes are popping out of my head. Okay, so I see we got some white supremacists here, so hold on, let me get rid of them. Boop. There we go. That's how you deal with them, right? Okay, so Sydney says, my aunt is light-skinned and she has experienced racism. Okay, and then you say in New York and in New Jersey. And then Jonelle, you say, let's see. You say, right, but haven't that always been America robbed from the poor, make yourself rich, deceive the masses, and make yourself rich, rape the blacks on all levels, especially miseducation, and make yourself rich? This is a biased nation of true pirates, devils, a.k.a. level, low moral beings. Absolutely. I mean, it's just the truth. You probably saw two people on here right now that was who exactly you described. And Cindy says that's before Bloomberg under Dinkins and especially Giuliani. So you're talking about the corruption and Koch, Ed Koch. So they talk about the corruption as far as planting the drugs and the guns. Yeah. But to have, I mean, like he was dead serious about stop and frisk too. Like we're gonna, lower crime. And like that is very Jim Crow. Just that's what they did with the black codes back during the Jim Crow era. Just mess with black people just because. If they're walking, too close to a white woman, we gonna rough them up. If they just look like they got something going on, that's what they did back then when they exacted these black codes on freed black people. It's the same thing. And so here we are in 2020. We are thinking about voting for some, like we got somebody, I can't remember who it was, the Minister Farrakhan says that we have amnesia. Black people, we have amnesia. We just forget so quickly the things that people have done to us, and we are so forgiving. Because what I really would want to do is talk to somebody who was privy, if you will. That's kind of the wrong word to use. But who got stopped 20 and 30 times under the stop and frisk thing, and ask them how they feel about black people wanting to give this dude a chance to be the president of the United States. Like, how would they feel that we want to give Michael Bloomberg our vote? Like, we really should try to find somebody who was, in Sydney. I don't know, you are in New York and New Jersey. Were you ever stopped and frisked? Obviously unnecessarily, because it said 95% of the stop and frisk encounters netted nothing. There was no crime committed. And so I couldn't imagine being the horror, or being a black man, and it happened to brown people as well, Hispanics, but I couldn't imagine being a black man walking down the street in New York during this, heightened time of stop and frisk. And, wondering, am I going to make it to my destination without being stopped? Like I'm not doing nothing. I'm walking to the store, you know, or whatever. And am I going to be like, it almost be, I would imagine it plays on your mind. Am I going to be stopped? Am I going to be harassed? And is this stop going to land me in jail for something I didn't do? You know, or is something going to be planted on me because we know cops have quotas? Is something going to be made up about me? And I'm just walking to the store. And not only one time does it happen to you, it happens to you, you know, 5, 10, 20, upwards of 30 times per that one person. That has to be a very traumatic experience. Like, I've been pulled over before. And I've been racially profiled. I'm a woman. You know, sometimes I wear my hair short. The times that I was pulled over, my hair was short, something like this. And one time I had my little brother and his friends in the car. I was taking them to the movies. The cop, I'm driving one way and the cop is driving the other. The cop makes a U-turn, follows me all the way into the movie theater parking lot. And I tell my brother and his friends, be cool. I don't know why we were stopped. I have my daughter in the car as well. I'm dropping them off. And he comes up to the side of the car cautiously. And he says, he looks in the car and finally realizes it's a woman and some kids in the car. And I said, you know, how can I help you? And he goes, he didn't know what to say. He goes, what did he say? I thought your light was out or something. I said, well, is it? And he says, no. And so it was kind of awkward. And he goes, okay, well, you have a nice day. But I'm not stupid. I know he stopped me because he thought I was, a black dude. Hope I don't look like a man. But he thought I was a black dude with some other, black people getting ready to be up to no good, and he thought he had the one, And it happened to me another time as well. So but again, and so let's see here. And hey, Simba, what's happening? He says, what's crazy is that you have generations of people that grew up under stop and frisk, being born into a police state, conditions kids not even know something is wrong. I'm from Harlem. I wish I would have read your comment before I went on. I'm from Harlem. When it was in effect, they ran 3 to life sentences, and kids, us at the time didn't know our rights. Getting stopped and frisked was normal. See, I wish I would have read that. And that's so when you hear somebody is wanting to vote, somebody black especially, is wanting to vote for Mike Bloomberg, and to hear your story, just makes you want to know what is wrong with us. What is going on with black people to where we forget? And I even charge it to the game and say, well, maybe you didn't know. But you guys have probably had conversations with some of us, and we try to say, hey, Michael Bloomberg, stop and frisk, woo, 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 this happened, blah, blah, blah. And it's still like, well, I've seen black people say this, well, no candidate is perfect. Name one candidate that's perfect. And I've had people ask me, so who do we vote for? And I honestly say, I don't know. Because I know right now it's not popular to say, well, we don't vote for anybody if we're not going to get anything for our vote. Because people, like we've been taught, it's like the lesser of two evils type of thing. We need to vote for the lesser of two evils, but we don't. Because Malcolm X says voting for the lesser of two evils is still choosing evil, right? And Jonelle, you say, let's see, Bloomberg and Hillary have no interest in black people except to practice lip service, manipulation, and exploitation to their benefit. Our greatest force and benefit is not in our vote or white sovereignty, but in our black unification, which has empowerment and various benefits. Absolutely, they don't have any interest at all. They just want us because they need us. Why else is Hillary going to say she has hot sauce in her bag? Hillary probably hasn't seen hot sauce ever. But now all of a sudden you're running for president, you have hot sauce in your bag. You know why she can say she has hot sauce? She said it herself. And when Charlemagne asked her, does it work? She says, yeah, it's working. Because, hell, her husband in the 90s when he was running got on Arsenio Hall and played the sax and people just fell out. Oh, he's the first black president. So they're not interested in us, but they're interested in what we can offer them to help them get to where they need. Because they know that black people, we love shiny things. We love, trinkets. And symbolism, things that make us feel good. But we don't really necessarily like things that are really good for us. I explain all the time, I'm a vegan. I don't like eating some vegetables. Sometimes I will eat them. If I had my choice, I would eat junk food all day. I love junk food. I would do it, but I know it makes me feel good temporarily, but it's not really good for me, right? So I don't do it as often. And Sydney says, well, I can speak on it. Yes, I've been stopped and frisked numerous times. It's degrading. There you go. So, you know, you guys who have been stopped under the stop and frisk laws should be out there. And I'm not saying you're not, but people like you should be out there really ringing the alarm to other black people. Hey, I was a victim of that. I was a victim of stop and frisk, which is a very racist policy law, if you will, in its inception. It was, like to imply that we need to rough up black and brown people, not even imply, it's expressed, that says that black people and brown people are criminals and we need to be, as white people, we need to be safe from them. So every chance you get, I don't care what you're doing, drop your donut and go stop these black people because you never know. They really might be doing something, so go stop them. But you guys need to be ringing the alarm and telling these people, I'm a victim of that. And Simba, you say, a stop and frisk was so common that a man will be scared to leave the house. Chances of going to jail on your way to the store was up to 65%. It's so common. Like, I mean, just to hear your stories is almost like listening to the stories that will come out of Jim Crow in the late 1800s, early 1900s under the black codes, where black people were subjected to things just like stop and frisk. I mean, it's the same thing, right? And Jonelle, you say, they make it up as they go. And then Cindy says, it brings up anger and thinking about it. I can imagine. Like I said, it's very humiliating. You're walking down the street and, people have to watch you get roughed up. Now imagine for people who, and I want to know too, just out of curiosity, like what's going through the mind of somebody white? And I'm sure they've seen it quite a bit, black and brown people being stopped and frisked down. Like what's going through their minds? Are they saying, it's just another black person. They're just getting, thank God they're checking them. I mean, because who knows? What are they thinking? What are they thinking when they're seeing black and brown people go through that? Were they upset? Were they trying to change the laws? I'm not saying a lot, some of them weren't, but overall, what was going through their minds as well. And Marilyn, you say, good for you not purchasing those products. Maybe they lose some revenue. They will think twice about locking their products. I experienced that in Moreno Valley, but they don't lock it up here in Houston. Yeah, and that's where I was. I was in Moreno Valley, where that happened. I was like, this is just, wasn't even gonna argue with them. Oh, you guys, you shouldn't be, because I know why they do it. They, obviously, and I'm not saying that some people don't steal. They do, but I don't think we steal more than anybody else. But it's racist. And I told my daughter, and I was mad about it. I said, but yeah, we'll continue to go there, and we'll wait and wait and wait for somebody to come unlock the cabinet so we can get some funky hair grease. Instead of saying, F that, I'm out of here. I'm not waiting for them to hand me some hair grease that they had to unlock. And I called corporate, and I told them that too. They're supposed to be calling me back. They probably won't, but whatever. And Sydney says Simba's 100% right. Yeah, sounds like. And then Jonelle says, miseducation is rape. We are the walking dead, true rape victims. Majority of us has yet to have a true black dream. Majority of us dream American, right? And as Dr. Cloud Anderson said, we talk about the American dream. He says black people were the American dream, in that we were brought over here for slave labor to help white people achieve the American dream. They didn't do that without us, right? And ever since, we've been living the American nightmare. It's just a fact, which goes back to my original point when I was saying, I just don't understand the point of staying over here. Like I got a lot of family and stuff over here, and none of them will go. None of them will go back to Africa. My daughter would go, but that's on my mind a lot lately. Like, this is a nightmare over here. Why stay? And then, hey, Sean, he says, they know we are emotional. Yeah, we are very emotional. Somebody said, Hillary gonna pull some hot sauce out of her bag. Ooh, child, she just like us, because, girl, I got some hot sauce in my bag, too. Mm-hmm. I got to vote for Hillary, because she know what's up. I'm laughing, but it's extremely sad. And Cindy says, what's upsetting is, we have people who grew up in the stop and frisk who says it was justified. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I was reading something earlier, as you guys know. Bobby Rush, who was one of the co-founders of the Black Panthers in Chicago. He's now endorsing Michael Bloomberg, and he said at the time when it was popular, I guess, when the stop and frisk law was coming about, he said he also endorsed it. He didn't think it was a bad idea, and so I think about somebody like Bobby Rush, who's part of a great organization that was trying to do great things for black people. He's completely bought in to the system. He's now this congressman, I guess, and he is accepted by white supremacy. I've even read where he was saying he had all the Black Panthers turned into a thug organization. I was like, just crazy, But yeah, so it's people like that who justify it, right? And then Jonelle, you say, a slave is programmed to put pacification and symbolism above true substance. Those who fight for true substance and independence, especially separation, is slandered or killed or both. Absolutely. I mean, we've seen it throughout history. All of our real leaders. I ain't talking about these people nowadays who call themselves leaders. I'm talking about our real leaders, Marcus Garvey's, your Fred Hamptons, your Malcolm X, your Martin Luther King, all of them. We're talking about those people who have really tried to liberate black people, and they are no longer here, right? And I want to touch upon this just really, really quick. So there's this movie on Netflix, Who Killed Malcolm X. I believe I saw it. I think they had it on the ID channel once, if it's the same thing I saw. And so now you have this debate where you see a lot of people talking about, the Nation of Islam was behind it, this, that, and the other. And, they have this movie, I guess, or the series called The Godfather of Harlem, where I saw a lot of people watch that and say, the nation killed Malcolm. And it's like, at some point in time, we got to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You have these entities, these white-owned networks who are reinforcing these narratives about the nation, about Malcolm, and it's like, even if you just do your own research, you can learn more than watching a glossy documentary. But it's like we don't really want true knowledge. We just want, as somebody said, we want to be entertained. We are emotional. We get caught up in all of that. I don't know who this Tim Bowles is, but he's going to get blocked. Okay. And then Sydney says, the first time I was stopped and frisked was at 9 under Koch. Damn. What could you be doing at 9 years old? You had an AK-47? I mean, what could you have been doing at 9 years old? And what happened with that stop, by the way? Like, what was? Tell us a little bit about what happened. Marilyn, you say, I'm glad you brought that up. I really had a problem about the stop and frisk with Bloomberg. They put the commercial with Obama like he's okay with my husband. Said they're all crooks. So what crooks do you want? Now, absolutely. So that's that whole voting for the lesser of two evils. But I don't have TV, but I've heard a lot about the Bloomberg commercials. I haven't seen any, but I would imagine, Michael Bloomberg is a big-time billionaire. He owns his own network and our station, if you will, the Bloomberg network. So he has a lot of money to put out narratives about who he is, and he's apologized for the stop and frisk. But it's like, you apologize? Like, I hate when people say they're sorry to me. I really do. I hate when people apologize to me, but it's like, but what about what you did to me? You inflicted trauma on me, and because you said I'm sorry, that's why I struggle, especially now. I struggle with the whole forgiveness aspect of anything, depending on what it is. Because you inflicted trauma on me, and you're supposed to say, I'm sorry, and it goes away. Like, I'm sorry. Sorry I stopped you 20 to 30 times because I thought you were, a criminal at 9. I'm sorry. But can you vote for me? I mean, come on. So, he is a crook. And they're all crooks. But to your point, it's like, which one do you want? But I go back to what Malcolm X said. Voting for lesser of two evils is still choosing evil. So are we going to choose evil? Like saying, okay, well, I'm going to get shot. I'm going to choose a 38, or I'm going to choose an AK-47. I don't know. I don't know guns, but I'm probably going to die by either one. So it's like, I don't want to be shot by either. It's going to hurt. And they're both probably going to kill me. I don't know. And then, Jonelle, you say, very few whites watch stop and frisk like how they watch hangings. Oh yeah, how they used to watch hangings. Smile with pictures, murdered black people who were innocent. Yeah, so you know, now obviously there was some white people who had a problem with it, but we've all seen the infamous pictures. My dad used to show my siblings and I those pictures when I was very young. I couldn't have been no more than like 6 or 7. Seeing those pictures that we see now, the black man that had all the whip marks on his back and the infamous hanging. I guess it came out of Indiana, where all the white people were standing around as this black man was hung. So my dad taught us about those things very early because he didn't want us to go through life thinking that we were equal. Like, of course, like we're equal amongst each other, if you will, but he didn't want us to have these false ideas of who we were to white people. He always wanted us to know this is how they think about you at the end of the day. And anybody who would stand around, as you said, watching it, even if he was guilty, like what black man deserved to be hung, have his body parts cut off and burnt, you know? And you got a whole host of white people standing around watching that, and they got the kids there, the wives, they're, you know, like this is a joyous event that they like, hey, we're going to a hanging. Come on, family. You know, get the chicken and the you know, the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We're going to a hanging. And they're like, so yeah, stop and frisk. We can liken it to the same thing. You know, you see black people getting roughed up, and it's just like, we don't want to be late for dinner, Marge. You know. And Cindy says, actually, Dee, I was stopped and frisked in Columbus Circle, and a white woman got involved. So what did she come to your defense? What happened? And Pamela says, I hate when I need body soap and they unlock the doors at Walmart. So, and that's what the lady was saying to me too. She says, it's not just the black products, it's other products as well. But I'm like, yeah, but all the black products are locked up. And none of the other products are locked up. But my daughter was saying, well, you know, but you're saying to me, and she said, I know it's not your fault, you didn't make the decision, but, you know, the white people don't have to go and wait for somebody to unlock their hairspray. But so it'd be different if all the hairspray, you know, was locked up, but it's not. So the lady was just like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And Cindy says, I think Simba would agree black cops were the worst. You know what? You would never even have to convince me of that. I wholeheartedly believe that they were. We've seen plenty of incidents, but the thing is with black cops, when they get caught, especially on video, they get dealt with most expeditiously, right? But yeah, they're the worst because, you know, they got something to prove. You know, I'll show you, bossa. I'll show you. I'll show you that I'm not going to let these niggers get away with nothing. You know, like, a pat on the back from white supremacy to some people, it's just like, it's so euphoric. You know, it's just like that validation of, see, I told you I'm a good black. You know, I don't like those blacks over there either. I don't know if you guys have seen the soldier story, you know, where Sarge, where he was sticking it to the black soldiers, and he let them know, you know, for lack of better words, I don't like your black ass either. So no, I totally believe you, Sydney. And then Jonelle says, a whole black nation treated as products and giving free labor and economics. Even now, their labor and hard-earned via spending is the American dream.